protection of the environment, better known as KEEP.
Positive for the cleaner environment. They want us to be also. We recycle aluminum cans and paper. We have stopped using disposable plastics in our cafeteria. And we encourage other schools in Bergen County to do the same.
Last year, a resolution was passed for all Bergen County schools, agencies, departments, and divisions to eliminate disposable plastic. Our honored guest speaker today, Mr. Roland Smith, sent us a message for an environmental program we held at our school, and we would like to end in support of his feelings. If we want a pristine environment, we must personally choose not to throw away even a tiny bottle cap. The self is the source and the self is the healer. We at Bergen Tech hope all of us will continue to work together. We must. The world is polluted. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christy Glano, and I'm proud to introduce to you West Canada Central School, Midville Elementary School, Newport, New York. Speakers, Alina Wood and Jonah Margolis. My name is Alina Wood. I'm a fifth grade student at Middleville Elementary School in Herkimer County in upstate New York. The most important business in our county is dairy farming. My neighbor's cows make milk with New York City drinks. 1 year ago, next Wednesday, the morning paper reported that our town, with its farms and precious wetlands, was to be the site of a regional landfill. Along with everybody else in town, I learned all I could about garbage and began educating others, even politicians. These are some of the lessons I learned. That we can't throw things away. There is no way. That we can't continue to waste our resources because we will run out of them. And that everything we do, from drilling to oil, to burning trash, to dumping in a wetland, has its effect. We stopped the landfill with bake sales, a walkathon, rallies, meetings, and speeches. We decided to keep fighting because the politicians will build the landfills and incinerators somewhere if we let them. This fight brought a lot of people together. We found that we all need each other for this cause. We all contribute, so we need to change the way we live. I read this in a book called Good Planets Are Hard to Find. Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could only do a little. And I couldn't agree more. Also, John F. Kennedy said, one person can make a difference and each person should try.
My name is Jonah Margolis. I, too, am a fifth grade student at Middleville Elementary School in Herkimer County, New York. I am going to talk about education. My parents and grandparents learned the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. I have to learn those too, but now we all have to learn 4 more R's as well. They are reduce, reuse, recycle, and refuse. Reduce. We need to tell companies to stop making products that can't be recycled, to stop creating waste in the factories. Nearly 4/5 of what we buy is used once and thrown into the trash. I have to decide as I grow up and choose a career, not to make the problem worse. Reuse. Our grandparents had a saying, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. Before I throw anything in the trash can, I need to ask myself if I have really used it up. Each reuse of a product saves all of the materials and energy that would have been used to replace it. Recycle. In our county, we are starting with the easy stuff: paper, glass, metals, and some plastics. Right now, it costs us extra to recycle. But if our government would buy recycled paper, for example, we could make enough money on recycling to pay for the program and expand it. Recycling alone is not enough. We have to use recycled products too. to close the cycle. Refuse. I won't buy styro burgers anymore, anywhere, and I won't use ketchup from non-recyclable squeeze bottles or buy juice in little boxes either. I may be only 10 years old, but I can act now to help save the earth. Barry Commoner said recently that the disease of pollution is incurable. Our only hope is prevention. By each of us working and learning together, we can make that hope real.
Next, I'd like to introduce the speaker from Cornwall Central High School, Cornwall, New York, Robert McCraner.
My name is Robert McCraner, and I'm a representative of hope, human optimism for the preservation of the earth, and we want to save the dolphins. One path we have taken on the long journey towards achieving this goal has been trying to inform people of the immense power they possess, which lies in what they buy. And in our case, economics has been both our enemy and our comrade. We had heard of several other organizations that had convinced the schools they attend to boycott their purchase and selling of tuna fish due to environmental compromise. In some cases, it was as easy as 12 students convincing the superintendent to order the school to discontinue their purchase and selling of tuna fish, and in other cases it was a little harder, but nevertheless, it was banned. This situation is what has made our struggle different. We have met with much support, but also with an unusual amount of resistance in our school community and with the public. It was even difficult to start this organization in our district with all the negative feelings towards it. It seems as though we have been discouraged by the administration. Everybody that I have met that opposes the Save the Dolphins campaign seems to have their own idea of how we should go about saving the dolphins, just as long as it doesn't require them sacrificing something. The extinction of the spinner dolphins has become imminent through the use of the gill net, or the drift net of purseine fishing, which is used in the process of harvesting tuna fish. It is a fact that every year more than 125,000 dolphins are needlessly mangled in the nets of tuna fishermen. The porpoises are used as beacons for locating tuna. Then they are chased by speedboats and helicopters until they are exhausted and confused. And finally, explosives are used to trap them in a mile-long net. Nursing and pregnant females are the most likely to die. It seems ironic that dolphins, being highly evolved and extremely intelligent animals, have been known to come to the aid of humans in distress. We have hardly returned the favor. Another way we have concentrated our efforts towards stopping the slaughter has been trying to convince the school we attend, Cornwall Central High School, to boycott their purchase and selling of tuna fish due to environmental compromise. Boycotting tuna will not eliminate jobs because there are economically sound alternatives to the use of the gill net. And finally, we have lobbied politicians to enforce laws that will protect this dying species. Laws such as the United States Mammal Protection Act of 1992 include dates or at a certain number of dolphins being killed that they will take action or the bill will become effective. We, as an organization, believe we must take action now before it is too late. We, as an organization dedicated to the preservation of our natural environment, believe that this problem and its solution are not confined to one country. We all must be held accountable for these deaths unless they are stopped. We, as an organization, believe these deaths are immoral because a second animal is being killed. For instance, every time someone shoots a deer, do they kill a robin too and not eat it? If we let this species die out of greed and indifference, it would be a great loss. As many of you are probably aware, the dolphins have experienced a recent victory in that 3 major United States of America tuna fish companies, Starkist, Chicken of the Sea, and Bumblebee, have resolved not to sell, buy, or catch any tuna fish caught with technologies known to kill dolphins. This is a battle won, but the war is not over. I think it is safe to say that this victory is a result of grassroots campaign all over the U.S. and all over the world that produced two things. One, enormous amounts of negative publicity directed towards the tuna fish industry, and second, the industry was economically suffering. And although they will never admit that it is money that what forced them to change their policy, money is the bottom line. Money talks. I'm glad to have the opportunity to talk to you. I would like to dedicate this speech and my efforts in this area to my grandfather, Robert W. McCraner, who had a strong belief in preserving our natural environment. He died April 18th of this year. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce to you from Tennekill School in Closter, New Jersey.
I'd like to introduce the Hagen Spackenkill Elementary School from Poughkeepsie, New York. The speakers are Kate Sullivan, Samara Kamenika, and Lisa Tattlebaum.
Imagine, it is 1600. You are strolling along the clean, quiet paths. You gaze at the beautiful fields. In 1990, you walk along the shameful streets, full of cigarette butts and litter. In 2050, you are on the same streets and you see the same polluted scene, only worse.
In Japan, people produce 1.9 pounds of garbage a day, compared with 3.5 pounds per day in the United States. Even though Japan produces far less than we do, the fact is, we all produce too much. Excessive consumption and waste are causes of embarrassment. According to Paul and Ann Ehrlich of Stanford University, people are the world's most powerful pollutants. We need to change our habits and choose to be environmentally wise.
Americans go through millions of plastic and bottles every hour, only a small percentage of which are now recycled. The Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution reported as many as 46,000 pieces of plastic per square mile at sea. As well, we urge all states to pass a bottle law and that all people choose to cooperate with this law. We urge people to choose to work to help establish community compost piles since leaves and grass clippings take up a lot of landfill space.
The U.S. annually imports over 800 million pounds of paper from Brazil. Our rainforests are being eradicated, and too many virgin trees are being destroyed to produce paper. People should choose to use recycled paper rather than virgin paper. Similarly, our infants and toddlers need to use cloth diapers instead of the millions of disposable ones thrown out yearly. The tires need to be recycled as well.
School students should urge their school districts to recycle. People who carry cold lunch to school or office should carry reusable utensils, cloth napkins instead of paper ones, and a thermos in an insulated bag. We do both in our school, and it is making a difference. People need to choose products that do not use excess packaging and should frequent stores that cooperate with recycling efforts, as that of the Price Chopper supermarkets.
We need to restore our quiet paths and beautiful fields. We need to change our habits and choose to be environmentally wise. People are the world's most powerful pollutants, but people can also be our environmental salvation. Each of us can make a difference, but we need to make that difference immediately, and we need to act now. Thank you.
Our next speakers are from Treetop School International in Fort Worth, Texas. The speakers are Sheridan Engholm, Eric Venegas, Allegra Bartzat, and Amy Motley.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming from Texas, I feel like I represent the average American kid. I like to play Nintendo and watch TV, but I care about much more. I am concerned about the environmental problems of our planet, like pollution, ozone depletion, deforestation, and garbage overload. That's why I'm here. I want to show that kids today care a lot about the environment. We want to grow up to see a beautiful Earth.
And for that reason, we are willing to change. In association with Kids Against Pollution, our club, Earth Kids Operation, is acting to make personal ecological changes. Together, we can make a difference. Currently, we're supporting recyclable and reusable bags, protection of our forests, and the promotion of ecological awareness in Texas. We have an environmental proposal.
Several million trees a year are cut to make paper bags, and plastic is made of petroleum. They both go to the landfill. In our pledge for a new bag, each family owns reusable shopping bags. They don't take up a lot of room and can be kept in the car. Then they can be stitched to carry many items.
I would like to emphasize that our world and its resources are one of a kind. We all live here together, and we are all responsible for the earth. We alone can shape our future, and we need to start caring more about it. You may think I'm only one person, but many people make a group, and many groups make a powerful multitude. This is our group's pledge. We, the kids of the earth, propose to change.
We propose not to dispose of paper or plastic grocery bags. The solution? Using reusable shopping bags such as string or nylon. We'll make less trash, stores will save cash, big change can be simple.
United as a force, we can make a difference. Thank you.
I'm so pleased that you could all be here today to hear and be educated by these young people. Without any further ado, I'd like you all to give a warm welcome to the people of the Haworth Public School, Haworth, New Jersey.
My name is Lisa Tokunaga. We represent the fourth grade students from the Haworth chapter of Kids Against Pollution. We are happy to be a part of the United Nations Environmental Rights Day. Our motto is CAP is the solution to end pollution.
My name is Eric Eisman. The town of Haworth was the first municipality in the state of New Jersey to pass an ordinance banning the sale of any type of styrofoam from its stores. This was a result of our CAP chapter petitioning the mayor and council. We are proud of this accomplishment.
My name is Jenny Eftahir. Our goals are to recycle all aluminum cans in our school, recycle all high-quality paper and newspaper, to use 100% recycled paper in our school. Thank you from the CAP chapter of Haworth, New Jersey.
Okay, I'd like you now to have me introduce the representatives of the CAP group in Closter, New Jersey, Kathy Lynch, Brian McTighe, Fasi Hamid, and Lisa Huning.
In the past year, Kids Against Pollution wrote an amendment that we want added to our national and state constitutions. That amendment is entitled the Environmental Bill of Rights. This year, we are proud to announce that Congressman Frank Pallone Jr. will be sponsoring our environmental amendment and will be presenting it to the legislators in Washington in the hope that it will be added to our national constitution.
Mr. Pallone said, "To help achieve the goal of a safe and clean environment, I join with Kids Against Pollution in calling for an amendment to our state and national constitutions. I am introducing in Congress an environmental Bill of Rights to achieve this end. As all legislators have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, this new Bill of Rights will compel lawmakers to enact and enforce our environmental laws."
We are also proud to announce that New Jersey Assemblyman John Rooney will sponsor Kids Against Pollution's Environmental Bill of Rights and bring it before New Jersey's legislators in hopes that it will be adopted at a state level. We ask all of you today to join with us in petitioning all our senators in Congress to back this amendment. CAP Copies are available in the hall, as well as petitions to bring home with you. Finally, in 1972, the United Nations declared a World Environmental Day. We would like to take this a step further and have all the nations of the world declare this day, June 5th, an international holiday celebrating the environment and dedicating our world's community to its continuous preservation. We will be encouraging our ambassador to endorse this idea. We hope other countries will follow. I would like to introduce you to Mariah Nolan Lepatz, who is homeschooled in Bowerville, Minnesota.
Hello, friends. I have a success story that I was involved in that I'd like to share with you. Last year, a man representing a corporation came into our area trying to sell the people a hazardous waste incinerator. The incinerator would have taken hazardous waste from 5 different states. The whole idea was a money-making deal for the company without care to the people of the area, land, air, water, wildlife, or farm animals. The people got together and wrote letters to government people, signed petitions, had a peaceful demonstration, and the issue was put to a vote. The incinerator was voted out. We are now free from the incinerator. The point I'm trying to make is that if we work together, we can get things done. This is the only planet that we know of that we can live on. We have to protect our Earth and think of the future generations to come, not just making money and making life easier. In closing, I would like to share a few words from Chief Seattle that I feel are really the heart of the environmental movement. Every part of the earth is sacred to my people. You must teach your children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. If men spit upon the ground, they spit upon themselves. This we know, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. This we know.
Finally, I would like to introduce Veterans Memorial Elementary School, Provincetown, Massachusetts. The speakers will be Josiah Mayo, Jennifer Davis, Jesse Cartwright, and Simone D'Amico.
Hello, my name is Josiah Mayo. I come from Provincetown, Massachusetts, USA, at the end of Cape Cod, a point of land sticking out in the North Atlantic Ocean. I'm here to talk to you about ocean pollution. The world's oceans cover 72% of the Earth. It's the world's largest habitat, but we humans have not been taking care of it or the animals in it. A month ago, my friends and I took part in a marine debris survey and recorded the types of garbage we found on the beaches. Amazingly, more than half of all the styrofoam had holes pecked in it by birds thinking it was food. When we looked at all the debris, including natural waste such as reeds, logs, and seaweed, we saw that 1/10 of it was caused by humans. But humans are not nearly 1/10 of all living things, so we shouldn't make anywhere near 1/10 of the waste. What we saw when we looked at our small part of the ocean was an indication of the state of the oceans in all of the world. Imagine, most of the world's food and some of the world's oxygen comes from the ocean, yet we continue to dump millions and millions of gallons of deadly waste into our oceans daily. How long can our Earth hold out? Another problem that has to do with the oceans is rising sea level. It's caused by the greenhouse effect. Global warming causes the polar ice caps to melt, which in turn raises sea level. This poses a threat to Provincetown's future existence. This Earth is our Earth, and these oceans are our oceans. The living earth depends on us because we have it within our power to devastate the oceans or to protect and use them. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Davis, and I am here to talk to you about ocean pollution. I live in Provincetown, Massachusetts, a beautiful town at the tip of Cape Cod. In our town, there are miles of beautiful sand dunes and beaches that have attracted many famous artists and writers. Tourists come from around the world to see this beautiful area. A group of us, along with some park rangers, did a marine debris survey on several beaches that are part of the National Seashore. We found over 500 articles of trash within a half-mile area. I was very upset to discover that not only was there a lot of trash, but that most of it was plastic. Plastic will not decompose and is a danger to the environment and the wildlife. I'll bet that everyone here has littered at least once, and that action could have killed a sea or land animal. We all need to start educating ourselves about dealing with our trash. Not far from where I live, just across Cape Cod Bay, is Boston Harbor. This is one of the most polluted harbors in the country. Human and other waste is floating in the same waters where people swim. How could people let this happen? In my class, we read a story that described the way sewage from New York City used to be put on barges, taken out into the ocean, and then dumped. In 1973, when scientists went out and studied that area, they found no sea life and discovered brown water. On Easter Sunday, the church I attended was going to release over 100 balloons as part of the Easter service. I told them the possible consequences of those balloons making their way into the ocean. They could have killed animals that thought they were balloons. Instead of releasing the balloons, the church decided to give each person a balloon. See what one person can do? So the next time you walk down a beach and see some trash, please pick it up. And remember, we can still save this world with everybody helping. Each one of us needs to do our part. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Simone D'Amico, and I belong to Kids Against Pollution in Provincetown, Massachusetts. I'm here to talk to you about the state of our water today. Each year, 40 million tons of raw sewage, chemical waste, and other poisons pollute our water supply. Even worse, 700 organic chemicals used in industrial processes have been found in our water supplies, as well as 22 cancer-causing agents and other toxic substances. The sole source of America's drinking water is groundwater, and at least half of that water is contaminated by us. Our water supply is our life support. We, as well as other living creatures, depend on clean water, so we mustn't endanger anymore. Many people's attitude is to ignore our water problem and hope that it will go away. That is not true. We have caused this problem, so we must solve it before our crisis becomes even greater. Fortunately, there are some solutions, costly but effective. These might include more extensive and effective research and education, bans on certain chemicals should be put into effect, laws should be enforced, inspections made, ensuring that toxic materials are disposed of in an environmentally safe way. In the long run, the cost won't really matter in comparison to how we help our home so our children can enjoy our once clean water. Our water is drastically becoming an industrial waste dump, but your help can make a change. Remember, one person can make a difference. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jesse Cartwright. I am from Provincetown, Massachusetts, a town on the end of Cape Cod. My town is a tourist attraction because of its beauty and unique history. I am here to talk to you about clean water. Clean drinking water is becoming more and more endangered every day because people are unaware of or just don't care about the damage done to our water supply. On Cape Cod, we are sitting directly over the aquifers that are the source of our drinking water. Many things now threaten to further pollute our water. For instance, factories emitting smoke from their stacks make smog, which eventually falls as acid rain. Septic tanks leak human waste and whatever else people put down the drain, like paint and pesticides. In sewage treatment, dangerous chemicals are used. To make it worse, waste disposal companies are dumping toxic waste into surrounding lakes, rivers, and oceans. In Mashpee, a community only 80 miles from where I live, people receive 5-gallon jugs of spring water from the government because their water has been contaminated.
They are the leaders of tomorrow, and they may be our best hope for today, the children. Today at the UN, they gathered to sound the alarm about saving the earth. Brenda Blackman was at the General Assembly building to hear the message.
4,000 kids from around the country and the world marched into the UN General Assembly with a mission. 100 of these kids come from Channel 9's Operation Clean Sweep project, which encouraged schools to develop environmental awareness.
I pledge allegiance to the earth.
They promised themselves and their communities they would do something about the environment, and they have. Promises in Action marked the Global Environment Youth Conference, co-sponsored by Channel 9 and the United Nations Environmental Program. Keynote speaker Rollin Smith was presented with an award.
Thank you very much. Thank you. 80 countries approved a non-binding declaration backing stronger measures to save the Earth's protective ozone layer. And what is that?
Rollin wasn't the only one with a message of good news. These kids had some hope to share, too.
I like to play Nintendo and watch TV, but I care about much more. I am concerned about the environmental problems of our planet.
Our infants and toddlers need to use cloth diapers instead of the millions of disposable ones thrown out yearly.
John F. Kennedy said, "One person can make a difference, and each person should try."
Now, if you could look in that camera and talk to everybody one-on-one, what would you tell them to do?
Well, one thing that CAP hasn't really been doing, but we should really stop cutting down the rainforests.
Out of the mouths of our future comes hope. From the United Nations, Brenda Blackman, Channel 9 News.
Taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, they will be compelled to enact and enforce the law.
Air. We have a right to clean air uncontaminated with poisonous byproducts of industry. We have the right to an atmosphere free of fluorinated fluorocarbons and high levels of carbon monoxide, both of which are today contributing to a global warming, also known as the greenhouse effect. Every reasonable means should be taken to promptly accomplish this task. Water. Water is the lifeblood of our planet. We have the right to uncontaminated drinking water, not water that is increasingly laden with toxins of industrial byproducts. We have the right to swim in our nation's waterways, to see its shores free of waste and ocean dumping, to catch fish that are not laden with mercury, PCBs, lead, dioxin, and other substances that are harmful to life. Land. Our land is a precious resource. We cannot continue to dump our waste on it without taking strict precautions. There must be tighter controls of dumping, and the land